This is the new Ctrl.5 from Teradek RT.
You're watching CineD, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hey everyone, Graham Mailer-Sheldon here from CineD.com. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of CineGear 2024. I'm in the Creative Solutions tent here, joined by Brian. Now, Brian, you mostly work on the Teradek RT side, right?
So I do a little bit of RT and I do a little bit of wooden camera, but right now it's a lot of RT to make sure this Ctrl.5 is working through.
Very cool. And your background is a local 600 AC type?
So I've been a local 600 for, I think, 9 years at this point, but pulling focus for 14 years.
Heck yeah. So you're the right guy to talk to about the Ctrl.5. What are you holding right there in your hand?
So I'm holding the Ctrl.5. It's the latest iteration of the controller for Teradek RT. It has a 5-inch display, basically our Ultra 5, shrunk down into a chassis, and then given 2,000 nits of brightness, so you can control it, go use it in the daylight, go use it in the studio, dim it down. All useful at that point.
So as an owner of several iterations of Teradek RT, I know there are a ton of differences between this control unit and previous generations. Can you just, other than the Ultra 5 basically shrunk down, what else is in the Ctrl.5 that we didn't see prior?
So everything that you love about the Ctrl.3 was implemented into the Ctrl.5. There are a few variations of which we're incorporating as well. So we included a Wi-Fi based antenna. So now we can use camera control through Wi-Fi at that point. We can include a Wi-Fi based with latency video display inside the hand unit itself. So just like Full Control or the companion app for some of these higher end cameras, we're trying to incorporate those things inside the controller itself.
And that's meant for like a gut check on settings, less so pulling focus, right, because of latency.
Exactly. So if you're doing interviews and you don't necessarily need a monitor in a sense, or if you're just at the camera itself and you're wanting to have a reference when you're pulling focus or when you're setting your lens maps or anything like that, making sure that everything's accurate, and then all of a sudden they say roll, 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 at least you have some type of reference on the controller as you're getting seat back at your tree in a sense.
Now, and how easy is it to switch back and forth between getting that like camera control view and then getting your like focus distance view?
So everything you like about Page.OS and the small HD monitor, we're incorporating into the Ctrl.5. So it's basically a swipe away.
I mean, that's very cool. And, you know, obviously this is going to talk to 4K small HD production monitors, right? I mean, it's just all part of one ecosystem at this point.
Yep. With our RT overlays, you have the option, just like the Ctrl.3, of getting your data directly on the screen itself, and as well as the hand unit has a full-on display. So you can literally see where you are at any given moment at that point.
Now, can you walk through sort of the creation of the Ctrl.5 a little bit? Because I want people to understand that you, as a union AC, you've been, let me just say that I've seen earlier prototype versions of this, and it's come a long way, probably in no small part due to you and a couple very talented engineers. Walk me through that process to make this a truly professional focus control device. So
our product requirements document started in 2021, which is about 2 years before that I started. When I took a look at the first iteration at last CineGear, we were probably the most weighty hand units on the market at that point. When I started, we went through a whole redesigned chassis design, and now we are the lightest hand unit in the professional system at this point. We have various mounting points along the side, and each mounting point actually allows us to reduce weight overall on the hand unit itself. So it was important actually to include all those weights. Same thing with the hand unit. The hand unit needs to be conformed to the hand, to the user's hand, rather than the user's hand being conformed to the hand unit itself. And so we went to the option of just removing the handle itself. Although you can still use it and it's still comfortable in your hand, we've incorporated all the mounting points on the side there, so we can add on a handle, or you can create your own handle. And that way it's not limiting to the user at that point.
Can we just talk about just overall on-set usability? What kind of range can we expect with this system? I mean, you know all the pain points like car-to-car stuff. I mean, there's some rough stuff you can get into where you need to have rock-solid connection. So I guess make me feel good about it, make the people feel good about it at home in terms of just constant connection at range.
So we have 3 different variations of range. We have a low, medium, and high. It has a 5,000 line of sight for the high extreme for connectivity at that point. Whereas if you're working right up against your unit, your MDR, for example, then you can use the low setting, and that way there's no interaction. I compare it to a fire hose. If you're going to try to get really a far distance, in a sense, you want a high-powered fire hose to be able to get that, versus if you're shooting the plant that's right in front of you and just trying to water it, you don't necessarily want to blow the plants away. You just need to generally touch it and make sure that it's damp enough so that you can get through.
Can you walk me through just pricing for the Control-5? Is it available as part of a kit, et cetera? So how do people get their hands on this, no pun intended?
So 3 different variations of what we're looking at right now. You can get the hand unit if you just want to include the hand unit with your RT ecosystem at this time.
And fully backwards compatible with previous generations of like motor drivers and motors in general, or?
Anything the Control-3 can control, with the Control-5 can control better.
Okay, I'll take that. I cut you off there. So what other iterations in terms of purchasing this?
So we have a deluxe kit that'll include the handle, a hand strap, a neck strap, and a monitor mount and a kickstand so you can set it down without it falling over. And as well as we have our traditional RT kits, which include an MDR and a motor as well. So it's customizable in that aspect. It's customizable in your hand, and it's customizable on the screen.
Well, I mean, the big one for people is going to be pricing. Let's just say pricing for the Control-5 hand unit by itself is
under $5,000.
Under $5,000. Okay. So compared to other competitors on the market, on the competitive side in terms of pricing, Brian, anything else we should know about the Control-5?
So the knob, although it does look large, we did raise it a little bit so that when you're using it, it actually falls in line with the hand versus dipping. As you saw the other iterations, we did have a stand basically built into the unit, but we figured that we can include an accessory that does that rather than increasing the weight of the overall design of the hand unit to allow this one functionality basically. And then ergonomics-wise, we were able to slim it down to, what is that, an inch and a half? So fits right in your hand, it's comfortable, and I've been holding this for quite a few hours at this point, and I'm still looking at a healthy battery at this time.
Well, speaking of power, I mean, what are my options? Is that like an L-series kind of thing on the back? Do I get 2-pin LiMo? What do I got?
So we have an L-series battery. We can use the short. I'm using, I guess this is a medium version or the larger version. With the larger version, you're getting like 6 to 8 hours of battery life, depending on how bright your screen is. With a 2000 nit screen, you don't increase the battery consumption, but lowering the brightness, you also have that option of increasing the battery life at that point. But as well as you have the option, if you're on your CineD 13, for example, and you're running a Teradek system, you can run a dummy battery to the Teradek system, and through the Batwing on the monitor, you can have all-day power in a sense.
Very, very cool. Well, Brian, thank you so much for walking me around the brand new Control-5. Very exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, that's it from us here at the Creative Solutions booth at CineGear 2024. There you have it. That's all the details on the brand new Control-5 in the Teradek RT ecosystem. Stay tuned to the channel for more news from the show. Thanks, everybody.